What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Republicans unveil Medicaid cuts in their big, beautiful bill. I'll show it to you on the screen as we're getting more and more details of this. This is the bill that is Trump's stimulus plan, the tax cuts plan. This is the plan that is also going to have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, and it's likely going to have the DOGE Dividend Refund Checks, the up to $5,000 stimulus checks. I'll give you all the details here in this video as we're uncovering more and more details here going forward. I'm going to give you all the details here of that, what we're uncovering as we go forward. I give you the good, the bad. Some people are for this, some people are against this, and I'm going to give you the details here in this video. Also, Trump unveils a new executive order that is going to save Americans billions of dollars. So, again, I just give you guys the news as it comes forward. Some people are for this, some people are against this. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in this video. So let's jump right in. We're live right now here on the YouTube It's Jimmy Show. If you haven't yet, subscribe to me on YouTube. It's completely free to do so. This is where you get the full videos here because I know a lot of people watch me on different platforms. So make sure to subscribe and help me reach 500,000 subscribers. It's completely free to do so, and don't forget to hit the like button for me here, and also let me know where you're tuning in from. You can let me know your city, state, or even your country, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globe. All right, let's jump right in here with our first story. Take a look here. Okay, House Republicans unveil Medicaid cuts. The Democrats warn will leave millions without care. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. Are you for this? Are you against this? Obviously, different people are going to have different opinions on this. But here is the details coming out here. And the reason for this is because this is how they're going to help pay for this new big, beautiful bill that Trump calls this. And this is basically the Trump tax cuts 2.0. This is the new version of what they passed in 2017. Yeah, so here's the details. House Republicans have unveiled that the cost-saving centerpiece of President Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill, at least $880 billion in cuts, largely to Medicaid, to help cover the cost of $4.5 trillion in tax breaks. If you guys have been watching my show, we've covered this multiple times. The writing's on the wall, and this is not the first time you've heard this, okay? This is not the first article you've seen this on, and the writing's on the wall for this, okay? This is not the first time you've seen this. This is what's happening, okay? Now, and you'll see kind of, this is where the details get a little bit, as you'll see here, but this is kind of how it's happening. Telling hundreds of pages, this is how they're starting to write the bill here. Remember, the blueprint's already been approved in the House and the Senate by Republicans, because remember, they can pass this bill through the reconciliation process. Remember, the Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and they're likely going to pass this bill all on their own. And they're probably going to have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security in this bill, and also likely the DOGE Dividend Refund Checks, aka the Trump Stimulus Checks in here. That could be up to $5,000, and I'll show you here. They currently have already $1,055 here saved per person here, directly from the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE. So $1,055 per person, which for a married couple is $2,100 over $2,100 for two people. Okay, so now exactly how this is going to unfold, we don't exactly know. Okay, if they're going to pass this bill and then send these out right away, or if they're going to wait until this money accumulates higher. We don't know. I personally think, if you've been watching my show here, that they should send this out right away. Even if this is only at slightly over $1,000 a person, send out the $1,000 right away. And then, hey, when it hits the next $1,000, send out another $1,000. And, if you guys let me know your thoughts here in the comment section right now. What do you think? Do you think it's better to send it out now when it's at 1,000 and then send it out again when it reaches another 1,000? And they said that this could go up to $5,000. But do you think it's better to wait and not send out anything until it reaches 5,000 and not get anything until that time? Let me know, yes or no. Because I think no. I think it's better to send it out now. Send out the 1,000 per person now, and then next time it reaches 1,000, send out another 1,000, and send out another 1,000. And then if we get to 5,000, we'll have already had several $1,000 payments, and just keep sending them out when they reach 1,000. That's my thoughts. Now, if we go back here, telling hundreds of pages, the legislation revealed late on Sunday is touching off the biggest political fight over health care since Republicans tried but failed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, during Trump's first term in 2017. While Republicans insist they're simply rooting out, this is where the details get interesting here, because Republicans say that they're not getting rid of Medicaid, they're just, quote, replacing fraud, waste, and abuse, okay, to generate saving with new work and eligibility requirements, okay? So that's where they kind of get you with the details, okay? So they're not getting rid of Medicaid completely, okay? They're just, reducing it, okay? While Republicans insist they're simply rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse to generate savings with new work and eligibility requirements. Okay? You can see that they're in black and white. Democrats warn that millions of Americans will lose Medicaid coverage. A preliminary estimate from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office said that proposals would reduce the number of people with Medicaid coverage by 8.6 million over the next decade. Quote from Republican Congressman Brett Guthrie of of Kentucky, the Republican chairman of the Energy and Commerce Committee, which handles health care spending, said, quote, savings like these allow us to use this bill to renew the Trump tax cuts, which does lower the tax brackets of every single tax bracket that there is, okay, and keep Republicans' promise to hardworking middle-class families, okay? But Democrats said the cuts are shameful and essentially amounts to another attempt to repeal Obamacare. In no uncertain terms, millions of Americans will lose their health care coverage. They're, talking about Medicaid in this part, okay? Said Representative Frank Pallone of New Jersey, a top Democrat on the panel. He said hospitals will close, seniors will not be able to access the care they need, and premiums will rise for millions of people if this bill passes. So there's a quote. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. As Republicans race towards House Speaker Mike Johnson's Memorial Day deadline to pass Trump's bill of tax breaks and spending cuts, they are preparing to flood the zone with round-the-clock public hearings this week on various sections before they are stitched together in what will become a massive package. The politics ahead are uncertain. More than a dozen House Republicans have told Mike Johnson and GOP leaders they will not support cuts to the health care safety net program that residents back home depend on. So this is where the details still need to be ironed out. Trump himself has shied away from a repeat on his first term, vowing that there will be no cuts to Medicaid. But so far, as they're writing the bill, there are. So we will see. They will have to vote on this and actually pass it. All told, 11 committees in the House have been compiling their sections of the package as Republicans seek to at least $1.5 trillion in savings to help cover the cost of preserving the 2017 tax breaks that are set to be renewed in this bill and will expire at the end of this year if they don't pass, which were approved during Trump's first term and expiring at the end of this year, as I just mentioned. And if they don't pass this, all tax brackets for every single tax bracket for all Americans will go up, which will basically raise taxes on every American. But the powerful Energy and Commerce Committee has been among the most watched. This committee was instructed to come up with $880 billion in savings, and to reach that goal, primarily the healthcare cuts, aka Medicare, but also rolling back the Biden-era green energy programs. Yeah. So that would reduce the deficit by $912 billion over the next decade, but at least $715 billion coming from the health provisions. Now, it also says here, to be eligible for Medicaid, there would be new, quote, community engagement requirements of at least 80 hours per month of work, education, or service for able-bodied adults without dependents. People would also have to verify their eligibility to be in the program twice a year rather than just once. So you guys can see that here in literal black and white. This is likely to lead to more churn in the program, basically higher eligibility, which would lead to more people not being eligible for Medicaid, especially if they have to drive far to a local benefits office to verify their income in person. But Republicans will say it will ensure that the program is administered to those who qualify for it. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that just the other day, the Department of Justice filed a massive fraud complaint against 3 of the largest Medicare brokers in the country. Yeah, and according to the Department of Justice, these brokers misled seniors claiming to offer unbiased help while secretly steering them to insurance plans that paid the highest kickbacks, which was obviously not good. Yeah, it was not the best plan, not the right plan, and not the most profitable one for these brokers. It's infuriating, but sadly, it's not surprising. And this is why I recommend Chapter. Chapter Medicare is different. Chapter Medicare was founded because their own parents got scammed. That's right. And Chapter Medicare can actually have a proprietary system. They can actually scan through all the different providers, all the Medicare providers. They're one of, if not the only system that can do this. They can scan through every single Medicare and Medicare Advantage provider and system. So they're not just trying to sell you just that one and only product. They can scan through all the different providers and find you the best program that can get you the best, benefits, program and card and save you a lot of money. In fact, the average Chapter person that has switched with Chapter saves about $1,100 a year, which is absolutely amazing. And I've had a lot of my audience members actually thank me for saying, hey, thanks for putting me in touch with Chapter. So I'll put a phone number here on the screen or a pinned comment down below. Feel free to call them or click on the link down below in the pinned comment. And if you or a loved one is on Medicare, Medicare Advantage, or any Medicare systems, call them or click the pinned comment down below and just talk with them. It's completely free to talk with them and see if they can save you money or put money back in your Social Security check just by scanning through all the different Medicare providers and see if they can save you money or put money back in your Social Security check. Okay, some good news here. Trump signed an executive order setting 30-day deadline for drug makers to lower prescription drug costs here. This will actually save billions of dollars here. President Donald Trump on Monday signed a sweeping executive order setting a 30-day deadline for drug makers to lower the cost of prescription drugs in the U.S. or face new limits over what the government will pay. The order calls on the health department, led by RFK Jr., to broker new price tags for drugs. If the deal is not reached, a rule will kick in that will tie the price of what the U.S. pays for medications to lower prices paid by other countries. Quote, "We're going to equalize," Trump said during a Monday morning press conference. "We're going to pay the same as what Europe pays." It's unclear if any impact the Republicans' president executive order will have on millions of Americans who have private health insurance. The federal government has the most power to shape the price it pays for drugs covered by Medicare and Medicaid. The federal government spends hundreds of billions of dollars on prescription drugs, injectables, transfusions, and other medications every year through Medicare, which covers nearly 70 million Americans. Medicaid covers nearly 80 million poor and disabled people in the U.S. Trump's so-called most favored nation plan executive order approach is Medicare's drug pricing has been controversial since he first tried to implement it during his first term. He signed a similar executive order in the final weeks of his presidency, which called for the U.S. to only pay a lower price that other countries pay for some drugs, injectables, or cancer drugs given through infusions administered in a doctor's office. Though this narrow executive order faces hurdles with a court order that blocked the rule from going into effect under President Joe Biden's administration, the pharmaceutical industry argued that Trump's 2020 attempt would give foreign governments the upper hand in deciding the value of medicines in the U.S. Trump has played up the announcement, saying it will save taxpayers big money. He boasted in one post that his plan could save trillions of dollars, which it actually could. Now, there are some critics that say Trump did undo some of Biden's. If you remember, Biden had some of these kind of things that he was doing as well, and Trump kind of undid some of them. But it doesn't really matter who gets the credit for them. What matters is that we actually saved the money, and people that struggling to afford medicine and stuff like that, is that it actually happens and we actually do it, right? So, hopefully we actually see this come to fruition and we actually see this happen. So let me know your thoughts on this. I'll keep you up to date on all of this stuff and everything happening here on a daily basis. Share this video with anybody that needs to hear this news, and make sure to subscribe down below. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Jimmy. You can subscribe to me on other platforms. I'm It's Jimmy Show on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. I have some other people copying me on other platforms. They basically just share my video, but on other platforms, I'm It's Jimmy Show. Or you can click the link down below in the description. I have a link to my other social medias there. But you can subscribe to me down below. It's completely free to do so, and I will keep you up to date here on everything you need to know about. Click here to see the major deal made by President Donald Trump here just yesterday. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in